When I first started tarot card reading at 19, I could only be considered a tarot card reader, not an intuitive tarot card reader. The difference between the two is huge, even though they may look very, very similar. If you're just reading tarot straight, you're gonna just take the card and put it in a spread. Like so, I got this for a client, let's say this popped out, I'm just gonna read the card. So the person's very much in love with someone. Versus if I'm gonna intuitively read this, I would probably say that they've been in a really long-term relationship with someone that they care about deeply. If I just read the card, I would say, oh, you definitely love someone. But as an intuitive reader, I'm going to look at both the seahorses and I'm going to say this is a very deep, we know that seahorses mate for life. This is a very, very deep soul connection. So if you noticed, when I'm just reading the card, I'm going to say, yes, you're in love. This card tells me you're in love with someone. If I'm intuitively reading it, I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to look at the meanings. I'm going to look at the animals. I'm going to look at the words. And I love that this card came out first for this module. If you are a tarot card reader, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are an intuitive reader, there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely still help clients either way. So I'm going to continue this reading as if I'm just tarot card reading, not intuitive reading. So I got this love card. I'm going to say, wow, client, you're in love. This is wonderful. This is coming out. I'm going to do a spread. What's crossing you? The client may be the Hierophant. So because it's in the crossing position, I'm going to tell the client, the obstacle is marriage. The obstacle is commitment. Something to do with that. If I were intuitively reading, I would probably go much deeper into the person's spirituality, get into their beliefs in higher source or God, and get really into their spirituality, and that may be what's crossing them. But if I'm just reading the Hierophant, it means that some institution or some marriage is getting in the way of this love. But you can see I'm still able to provide the client with really good information both ways. Now, I'm doing a spread, so I'm doing this straight tarot reading, the sun at the bottom. So when I was 19, I'd be like, woohoo, you've got lots and lots of happiness coming in. And I would just say, this is wonderful. You're very, very happy and in love and in a marriage. However, as an intuitive reader, and now I'm automatically wanting to intuitively read this spread, I would say shedding light on your spiritual issues will bring in this love. This looks totally different as a tarot reader versus an intuitive reader. And so I do highly recommend, if you're going to do this professionally, doing it on the intuitive level. If you're just starting out though, just giving straight tarot readings is very, very important. So this fell in the back. So this fell in the past position. Whoever I'm reading these tarot cards for, felt very, very oppressed in the past. If you're intuitively reading this, you're going to want to get into the spirituality and how they weren't feeling belief in themselves. You're going to want to get really, really deep. Whereas if you're just reading the card, you can tell the person, you felt really stuck in the past. And that's enough. The person will most likely know exactly what you're talking about. Whereas if you're intuitively reading, you're going to want to get into, you felt grief, you felt hurt, you felt overwhelmed, you felt all these other things. Intuitive reading is much more descriptive. Then this fell at the top of the spread. The top of the spread, this person ended up finding their power somehow. And that's excellent. Now, intuitively, I want to say that this person used spirituality. They shed light on this pain. Shedding light on this pain led to this crown chakra awakening. But if you're just reading the card, you can say, hey, you reclaimed your power. But you can see the message is almost still the same, right? It just, the intuitive reading goes much deeper. And if, it's funny because I may even be picking up on the energy of someone watching this course. So if you're resonating with this reading, that is okay. There's some, as an intuitive reader, if this comes up on the top of the deck, on the top of the spread rather, it's telling me that your connection to source in the past was blocked, but there's something that came in, this love that came in, and you shed light on it, it just like caused a crown chakra crack open. and you somehow, the person felt very, very connected to spirit. So that was an intuitive read. The tarot card reading though, hey, you got your power back. But you can see the person gained that power by opening up their crown chakra. That's why you really want to take your practice to the next level, because intuitive reading lends itself to advice. Intuitive reading lends itself to more information. Whoa. Anytime the cards come spilling out like that, that is an indicator to me that the person is struggling with anxiety as an intuitive reader. Whoa. All right. So what I love about this is going to read the same way whether I'm reading the card or I'm reading it intuitively. All this spiritual work that the person has done is going to lead to abundance, happiness, growth, celebration. This is an excellent spread. It's almost too perfect, for this course. I love it. And this, you can tell your client, if you're just reading the card, hey, you may marry this person, this new love that came into your life. This could lead to real happiness and abundance. This could also be a career reading where the person really did reclaim their power. However, if you're intuitively reading this, you're going to want to get into the overwhelming feelings, or possibly even, you may even get some amounts of money. For some reason, I just heard 3 million, and I'm not sure why. So there's a $3 million number on this. There is a 3. So when I said I heard 3 million, it's not the card didn't just like whisper it in my ear. Because I'm so tapped into source, a voice just said 3 million. So I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. But you're going to want to say it. No matter what, if the voice, if your intuition says 3 million, you say it to your client no matter what, whether you're a tarot card reader. And what's going to happen is, the more you tarot card read, the more you're going to slide into the intuitive part of it. So even just if you feel like you don't hear that little voice that tells you very, very specific things when you look at a card, just throwing cards on a table and reading the cards, the more you do that, the more it's going to open up that crown and that connection to source. And the more you're going to get accurate readings. It is very much like riding a bike, tarot card reading. It's you do it and you do it and you do it and you do it until you get better. Wow. So you notice I'm doing the classic Celtic cross spread. If you're just starting out as a tarot card reader and you're just reading tarot, you need to use spreads. They're very, very important. If as an intuitive reader, and I'm going to go through just an intuitive reading after this, you are going to want to, you can do whatever you want. You can do spreads. You can just throw cards on the table. I prefer to just throw cards on the table and not use a spread. But this is in the power position. So this reading is all about the person having confidence in themselves, not giving into any imposter syndrome. That's what I would say as an intuitive reader. As a tarot card reader, you would want to tell the client, which is very, very similar, that they need to build up their confidence, that they need to move forward, they need to take action. This is very much an action card. And you have to know, in order to tarot card read, you have to know the meanings of each of the cards. You have to know what they represent. And there's so many people who are doing tarot card classes that I'm only going to be covering divination as a whole in these courses. But there are lots and lots of tarot card readers out there that are doing tarot classes. The best way for you to learn, though, is just to read for people. And if you have to refer to the book or the book, see, I'm going back to when I was 19. All of these decks always come with the book with the meanings, but we all have a computer in our pocket. So Google it. There's tons and tons of websites that will give you the meanings. The easiest way, if you're just starting out, sit in your room, pull cards, and keep looking up the meanings. And you will get it eventually. Whoa. It does look like this person is bringing up the past here. You want to refer to the spread as a whole, always. Never forget the other cards on the table when you're interpreting, whether you're tarot card reading or intuitive reading. You cannot just focus on this, This person looks like they are taking action over the disappointment. This person has to get out of whatever situation they're doing, or whatever situation they were in the past, that's leading to disappointment. There's something that this person may be doing that's leading to their own disappointment. Don't be afraid whether you're tarot card reading or intuitive reading, to give the client the hard message. If you want light and fluffy messages all the time, grab a tarot deck. An oracle deck. Oracle is going to give you the, fluffy, you are loved and everyone loves you and we are all light beings. Do not read tarot for people unless you're willing to give them the hard news, because tarot goes there. Tarot will kick your ass, whether you're just reading or intuitive reading. Whoa. There's something about, and then this falling in this position is the hopes and fears position. You want to focus on, when you're doing a spread, where it falls in relation to the rest of the cards. And this person looks like they went from the Father of Fire, and this disappointment had them in their imposter syndrome. So you're going to want to talk to your client about it. Now I'm intuitively reading right now. You're going to want to talk to your client about getting back to that Father of Fire. If I'm just tarot card reading this, I would tell the person, hey, you still got to take action even though you don't feel as good, even though you haven't moved up in the way that you want to. Pages, are always the hardest to read, and the Daughter of Fire is actually a page. In different decks, that's the other thing you need to know. Using a very simple deck when you're first starting is important. Because you're not going to be able to read a very, very complicated deck, even like this one, at first. You need to get to know the images. You need to get to know the meanings. And there's 78 cards. It's not easy. Whoa. Now this isn't fun. This Cruelty card coming out as the last card. This is a challenge to read. The outcome is cruelty. Oh boy. Now, what it is, though, is that this person is most likely questioning your advice, questioning and telling you, I can't. So just know that, no matter what, you can tell your client they have power over the outcome. That just because this card fell in the outcome position doesn't mean it's a definite. There are things that this person can do that will change the outcome. So always let the client know that they are in control of their own destiny. There's something about, this person letting the disappointment overtake them. Even if, whoa, I just got an intuitive message. Money doesn't buy happiness. So even if this $3 million comes in, and you may want to remind your client that $3 million is great, but it's not going to buy you happiness. And you still have to work on those issues that made you feel depressed or made you feel oppressed. There is a lot of things that you're going to have to go over. There's a lot of different scenarios that could happen, which is why I do always recommend learning how to intuitively read. However, if you're just starting out, just reading the cards is enough. It's how I got started, and I was hella accurate at 19, just reading cards, not even hearing the $3 million voice. Now, since I'm not used to spreads, it's something I don't normally do anymore. I started out with spreads. That is to teach you that you need to pay attention to all the cards. I feel anyway. Now, if I'm just intuitively reading, these days, I just pull cards. I don't put a placement. Yep. So, intuitively, I'm going to say that, if you get the Ace of Cups, it's a brand new beginning in love. There's some kind of brand new beginning in love coming in. But I think that this person had to learn how to love self before they could bring in anything like that. Whoa. The client may be dealing with a huge breakup in love. Or they may have left one relationship to go to another. Don't be afraid to go there. Maybe because their partner was neglectful. There was, in the past, the relationship felt really, really good. Then there was some kind of huge shakeup. And the partner started neglecting this person. This looks rough. This looks like, and the reason I say this with the Empress, because you notice in this deck, she's not paying attention to her baby. Now, if I'm going to intuitively read, you want to pick up on any feelings you're getting when you look at these cards. How do the cards make you as the reader feel? Especially if you resonate as an empath. The feelings are what's going to tell the story. The feelings you're having are what's going to tell the story. You also need to quiet down any words or any thoughts of your own life. And I highly suggest watching the meditation module too, because you need to not have any thoughts about what's going on in your life. You need to just focus on the client and the client only. Yep. There's something about after this divorce or breakup, this person is going to see some big gains, big money gains. Often I see with my clients is if they're choosing a really crappy partner, that partner actually ends up having them lose money. The more they spend time with that person, the more money they lose. But then when they're around people who, you know, are of high vibration, they notice that their money goes up. Now, since you're at the level of intuitive reading, you know that the mother is the queen. The Queen of Cups, this is all about emotion. With the Empress, the Queen of Cups, there is some strong emotional attachment here that may be keeping the client stuck to this relationship, or they may feel bad, or there may be a strong female in their life that does rely on them. Whoa. However, there's something about them continuing to move forward that's going to lead to victory. Don't be afraid, like you can't. Now, if you get bad vibes from someone in someone else's life, you have to tell them. It's the person, the client is paying you, and they're not paying, most of them are not going to pay you to tell you what they want to hear. Most of them, if they respect your gifts, they're paying you to tell you what you get. And if there is someone in their life that they love very much that's causing problems, you need to tell them. I suggest being gentle. Do not call their loved ones names or anything like that, but, you know, gently suggest that there may be someone in their life that is bringing them down. You know, there's a lot to tarot card reading versus intuitive reading. Starting out as just a tarot card reader, I say it just a tarot card reader. Please don't take any offense to that. It is how we all start. However, if you can keep yourself at that level. And if you watch the entities module, you'll see keeping yourself at that level does have its advantages. You're not exposing yourself to really darker energies, like tapping into possibly a narcissist in someone's life. It's really important that you know what you're getting into if you're gonna intuitively read. You're gonna see things, you're gonna feel things, and it's what the other person is feeling. And often it's hurt, it's pain, it's grief, it's heartache, and you've got to be prepared to literally feel those things if you're gonna intuitively read. And then you've got to shake it off, because you may be having a great day, everything may be going amazing for you, and then you get this client that is dealing with something really, really heavy, and it has the potential to ruin your day. So make sure you watch that protection module, the lower entities module, and I really do hope that this tarot card reading versus intuitive reading, with all these examples, was really helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching.